Ed, everybody I've spoken to does packaging.
Yeah.
Right, you're actually doing food manufacturing here.
We do a lot of food manufacturing, absolutely. We start at the very beginning of the process, right through to packaging, but there's a lot of stuff that happens before. You've got to get the product right before you can even think about packaging it. And that's where we come in.
Are you the only actual food production unit here? Are you?
There may be others, but I think where we differ is we like to come here and actually show what we do so people can physically see how we do things, so they don't have to visualize it, they can actually see it, understand it.
So if I was making donuts or crisps or ready meals, you could build out the whole factory for me from start to finish?
We'd have a good go, yeah.
Have you got a colour chart? It's a different colours I can have it. Only joking, Ed. Only joking. Do you want to show me this machine, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is quite a simple machine. It's called a filling table. So where you might have a small bakery maybe and they're hand filling trays, this just takes some of that out. So it's a bit of automation. Labour's expensive now, so now you can have one operator looking after the line rather than maybe 2 or 3 there. So it makes a big difference.
Everybody's talking about the labour saving. How bad is the labour situation at the moment?
Well, it's very bad. I'm not going to get political, but certainly the way it's set out at the moment in terms of getting people into the country to work with us that used to be here has created a big problem for us. It's driven people to automation, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. We've certainly succeeded from that and benefited massively. But there are certain parts of the food industry that still need labour, and we've got to feed the country. So we've got to find a way around that. And I guess that's what's driving our innovations constantly to try and develop ways and doing to try and help those customers not need the labour. And it's not that we're removing labour from the factories; they just get reassigned elsewhere within the factory because there's always something else to do.
And we're not talking about necessarily great big companies here either, are we?
Oh no, for sure. I mean, if you see some of the smaller owner-operators we deal with, for them, saving one person is enormous in comparison to their cost base compared to some of the very big businesses that, yeah, you might be able to send 10 people, but scale of economy and so on, for a small owner-operator, it's massive.
You might have the biggest stand here, I think. Is there anything else you want to show me? I'm sure there is.
Absolutely. Let's take a walk over here. So,
could you stop doing that now, please? Thank you.
So here we are, again, same type of machine except we've got a slightly different attachment. So this is all about utilisation of the same type of pump that we're going to talk about here. We've got a different filler on it, and so therefore we can make a different product. So from an owner-operator point of view, they can have one machine, do many different products just with a small change of an attachment.
And this sort of automation could make a massive difference to the bottom line of any company.
Absolutely, in terms of automation, but also in terms of flexibility to maybe develop a product range, bring new products to market, and that's going to set them apart maybe from their competitors.
Would you be prepared then to design machinery for any particular needs, no matter what? How much of it can be adapted?
Quite a lot of it can be adapted. I think where we start is the product. So much as we are machine suppliers, manufacturers, and we service them, it starts with the product. We need to understand what the customer wants to make and what they're trying to achieve from that, and we work backwards from there. Because the machine isn't magic, right? We've got to understand what they're trying to achieve before we can start to talk about the machinery.
You have got, come with me for a moment, there are green frogs everywhere I look.
Yeah,
right here. I'll take one home for my little boy Sid. Why the green frogs?
This is to do with VMAG. So VMAG is our largest brand, and I can't tell you the story behind them, but they just go wherever VMAG are, and people love them.
And what are we making here? Sweets?
So this is just a very simple extruder where we're creating small heart shapes. So this might be, for instance, for a small pet treat, or a small bakery item, or a small confectionery item. Again, lots of flexibility in here. And here you go, you've got a slightly different shape that we can put on the sides, and then we're making something new.
You have got so many different machines. Why is that? To show your versatility?
It is to show versatility, but I think as I said earlier, people coming here want to be able to see and understand what people can do. It's all very well having the stainless steel here. They need to see the product coming out the front. Do you want to see some dinosaurs?
More than anything, Ed. More than anything.
Come on.
Want to see some dinosaurs? Come on.
Here we go, some dinosaurs.
They're not edible, are they?
Well, feel free.
Hang on, they're made out of like Play-Doh.
They are, yeah. We use a lot of Play-Doh because it's a good way to represent food. So this is a machine where you might be feeding into a cooker or a freezer, high volume production, but it's very low pressure, so we're looking after the ingredients. People spend a lot of money on their ingredients. We don't want to smash them up through the machine. So low pressure forming, lots of different shapes we can make, different sizes of machines allow you to feed the line.
I'm really impressed with this, really impressed. But that's not cooking, that's just moulding and cutting, right?
Absolutely, moulding and cutting. So this would feed onto maybe a batter and breading line maybe, so they might be breaded afterwards and then they go through a fryer, might go onto an oven belt or maybe even straight into a freezer.
Are you having fun here, Ed?
We're always having fun. Anyone who's got dinosaurs on their stand is having fun.
Anything else I need to see?
Absolutely, come this way.
Come on. This is a big old stand, right?
You get your steps in. So this time we're gonna hide product in a product. So this is a machine which makes co-extruded product. So the classic you might think of is your mini Scotch egg. You know,
Jam donut, I was thinking, Ed.
We're not so good on jam donuts, I've got to say on that, but maybe a filled fish cake, something like
Chicken Kiev.
Chicken Kiev, absolutely, that sort of thing. So very much sort of our market for this sort of thing. You can do sort of solid products as well, but filled balls, filled sticks.
How much harder is it to do filled product like that?
It isn't really. All we're doing is adding in a second pump into the line, some pipe work, some clever software, admittedly, that I don't understand, but the VMAG guys are very good at. And then again, it's all about understanding the product they're trying to make, making sure the material coming to us is prepared right temperature, right setup, so that we can make the right product for them.
Why are you involved in this industry? You're a bright fella, you could have done anything. Why this?
I didn't work hard enough at school. I think like a lot of people, I fell into sales and I fell into the food industry. And I think once you're into it, it's a skill set that you gain through understanding the customer base. And I think once you start to understand the customer base, understand what their needs are, then I think that grows and develops your own interests. And let's face it, the country needs feeding. Everyone's got to eat, so there's always going to be a job to do.
If I ask you to just look forward 12, 18, 24 months, where are we going as an industry?
We've already talked about the automation piece, we've already talked about the labour piece, so that's something we're being driven on constantly. I'm pleased to say what I'm seeing is a drive for better products. So a lot of companies are looking for an edge. How can they be the best? We saw this with burgers. You look at any burger on the shelf, fresh retail burgers, it's the best ever, the bestest. And I think there's a constant drive for us to do that. And that's then not just about this, there's other parts of our machinery, the preparation. How can we best provide them with the best process to provide the best product? So if you've got a great product, you're going to be selling. If they're selling, we're going to be supplying machinery.
And without the machinery, your product is just a concept, it's just an idea, right?
Yeah, very much so. So we've got a test kitchen in Milton Keynes that we use a lot with customers, and it's like a mini factory. So they come in, they can send their ingredients down beforehand, and we prepare it from start to finish. We cook it up. We've got a kitchen. All the best parties are in the kitchen, right? So we end up in a kitchen. We cook it up. We taste test it. We do that with pet food as well, by the way. So we do a lot in pet food. Taste test pet food. It's very good for you. So yeah, I think it's about offering the customer somewhere to come and try, develop, rather than just focusing on their factory. So
I like that. So am I right in thinking then they should contact you as they are at concept stage to make sure not only is it a good idea to eat, but it actually can be properly made? Work hand in partnership with you as it's developing?
Oh, absolutely, because I think we can probably save them a lot of time, effort and money through our general knowledge and experience of handling materials, products, temperatures. Maybe if they're going down the wrong route to begin with, we can maybe guide them in the right direction, which not only, it gets them to market quicker and hopefully gets them a better product.
I've never considered that, the partnership like that. I've always thought it was selling something, but it's not. It's clearly a partnership. Is there anything we need to cover that I haven't?
No, as I say, I think what it comes back to from a Reiser point of view is we need to sell solutions. So it's about the customer buying a solution rather than a piece of machinery. And that's what Reiser is very much about.
I've enjoyed this chat. There is a lot of machinery to look at. I do like very much what you say. And as far as snacks are concerned, there's some really rather yummy biscuits on the table.